Like, it doesn't matter who you are. If you're a waitress, a bartender, if you're cleaning under fridges, if you're vacuuming, you got to really treat people with the empathy and respect that you want to be treated.
The founder of $1 Million Branders, and we are going to get into some juicy conversations around what it has taken her to build her $1 Million brand. Justine, thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much, Lezly. I really appreciate you having me on the show.
Talk to me about one of the moments where you thought that you couldn't make it, and what do you remember from that?
Even in the hard moments, being kind to yourself and be your own coach. Like, I know everyone can go and get a coach online. It doesn't matter. You can have the best coach in the world. If you're a shit coach to yourself, where's it going to get you?
Welcome to Unmasked Founders with Lezly Kaye. This is the podcast that goes beyond the highlight reel of entrepreneurship. Instead of focusing on the accolades and achievements, this show explores the real moments that shape founders, the challenges, the breakthroughs, and the lessons that transform both the business and the human behind it. Hosted by me, Lezly Kaye, an entrepreneur who has built empires and discovered the cost of success. Unmasked Founders is a space for honest conversations about growth, resilience, and staying true to who you are. Whether listeners are just starting out or scaling to the next level, this is where real stories are told. Welcome to Unmasked Founders, a conversation with me, Lezly Kaye. Hi guys, and welcome back to Unmasked Founders, the conversations behind the scenes of what it really takes to build big in business. Today I have with me Justine Pogroske, the founder of $1 Million Branders, and we are going to get into some juicy conversations around what it has taken her to build her $1 Million brand. Justine, thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much, Lezly. I really appreciate you having me on the show.
Oh, it's my absolute pleasure. I would love to start with a little bit about who you are and what you do before we get into the juicy undercurrent of business.
Sure. Okay. So who I am, I'm a little girl who came from South Africa. I'm not so little anymore, so I shouldn't say that. And started with nothing. And I got into advertising and fell in love with it. Not in love with all the struggles, but you have to get through, as you know, and started my own agency, built that, and I'm just continuing to build from there. So it's been a bit of a journey. I know we had a little chat behind the scenes, but hopefully I still look as young as I should and no gray hairs, which is good. And it's been an exciting life so far. But a little bit about me, I am very resilient. I don't take no for an answer. I believe in life, you open your own doors. You don't wait for them to open for you. And I know you get it because we're on the same page.
Yeah, I love that. And it's kind of the premise of this whole conversation. And we were talking off camera where I said, this podcast is for the moments that I wanted to give up. For the little girl in me that, you know, sometimes gets scared and is like, what the fuck are we doing? Why are we keep moving forward? Like, is this business going to be successful? Can we make it? So I really wanted to bring awareness and maybe some depth of conversation to, maybe one or two moments that you can remember, whether they're recent or, you know, I've got moments over my whole entrepreneurial career for the past 15 years, but something that really stands out as a pivotal moment where you thought, fuck, I'm going to give up, and what it felt like in that moment. And then we'll go to how you shift out of it.
Sure. Well, I think definitely one moment looking back at my life, which definitely made me resilient, was immigration. So I'm actually South African and I immigrated to Australia at the age of 11 and a half. So we had an incident where we had 9 machine guns break into my home. My mom had to hide in the bathtub to prevent from getting killed. And literally 3 weeks later, we had packed up everything we knew, moving to a new country, and we carried only our hopes, dreams, and our belongings. And that was it. And, you know, I think as a kid of that age, although I was very mature, it's weird because I still feel like a kid in many ways. But looking back, going through that, getting on a plane, going, I'm going to start again, it is quite scary. And it does wake up something in you. And then starting at a new school just before you're about to become a teenager, I mean, girl to girl, you know what that's like. going through that new school, don't know anyone, it really shaped who I was. I experienced a lot of bullying at school, being told I was dumb, ugly, everything under the sun. And, you know, you've really got to be your own coach. And I wasn't the type of kid that would speak to my parents about it because I knew what they were going through. They came, they had to start again, re-qualify. My dad is an accountant, my mom working all day. So I really didn't want to trouble them with my problems. And I've been working since the age of 12. So I've done every single job under the sun. And it's really shaped my character because it's made me truly believe, like, it doesn't matter who you are, if you're a waitress, a bartender, if you're cleaning under fridges, if you're vacuuming, you got to really treat people with the empathy and respect that you want to be treated. But I fell in love with branding because I think it represents who you are as a person. And there are two ways you can see yourself as a brand. Like there's the brand that you see about yourself internally, and then there's a brand how the world views you. So this all added to shaping my journey, but it was definitely, if you want to call it, a Kodak moment of, well, like these hard moments can really shape you and take you to your next level, but it's a choice. You can choose to go into victim, or you can say, hasn't broken me, it's going to make me.
I love that. And, you know, very similar. I was bullied a lot in high school. I didn't immigrate, but I come from a very poor family and we grew up in a small country town, and we literally went on as a poor family because they were all farmers' kids and they did polo, and yeah, it was quite challenging but it did build resilience and it built my character, I guess. And I think the empathy, because
totally.
I think when you're on the receiving end of not fitting in, one, you just want to fit in so you become a nicer person. That can create a mask, and we'll talk about that later. But two, yeah, I think it just shapes the way your heart is formed.
Absolutely.
And for me, I actually started to protect my heart for a period of time. So I was actually very cold and closed, and there was no warmth to me really, but it was just the projection of the little girl that was so scared because my whole life I was raised in a home where there was a lot of big T trauma, bullied all through school. So constantly I was protecting myself. And then I started on a path of doing the inner work and started to soften and let the little girl come out again, and the softness. And I love living in this space. So I would love to know, in all of that experience and the resilience, because I think resilience is necessary in business.
1,000,000%.
I actually say business isn't hard. You need sales, marketing, and delivery. The end. That's the ingredients. Yes. I've just given you guys $1 million strategy.
That's it.
And execution, actually, that's important. But what's hard is the motivation or the resilience to keep going. So what's the first moment you can remember where you were like, well, when did you start your business and how long have you been an entrepreneur for?
Good question. Long time. I think I've been an entrepreneur actually since I was a little girl because I had to be, you know, I always had to be cream. But I just want to touch on what you just said because I think fitting in is so overrated.
Truly.
And a lot of entrepreneurs are entrepreneurs because they don't fit in. So I just want to make sure your audience knows that. Like, and someone watching this, if you don't fit in, don't try fit in.
Yeah, I love that.
Because I think like it's easy to try fit in, and we try. It's like, you know, you remember those games as a baby where you put the square peg in the round hole?
Yeah.
It's like that. Like you can keep trying to be like everyone else, but just don't try flow. Like that your differences are what make you great. But I think for me, the reason why I started my agency, I got into the advertising world. Very competitive industry. I worked for a firm called Ogilvy. I don't know if you've heard of it. Okay. Back like now there's all these little agencies popping up, but back in the day when I started, I'm only 18. It was a huge thing to get into one of those agencies. They were the madmen of the day. So getting in there was a massive thing and huge achievement. And I really worked hard to get in there. And there was the GFC that hit after I was there for 3.5 years. I had this dream to be this big creative director. I was just go, go, go. And it was something every night I would be like, this is where I want to be. This is what I'm going to do. And nothing's going to stop me. And also I think coming from nothing, it was this insatiable drive to succeed. You get it.
I get it.
I know you get it. And when the GFC hit, my creative director who had my back, who was literally fighting for my dream to happen, going, Justine, you can do it. You can make it. He got fired.
Oh, no.
And we'll let go of,
Yes.
because they thought, okay, we're going to get rid of the deputy creative director, another mentor of mine, and the head creative director, and we're just going to hire one person to do 2 jobs.
Wow.
Anyway, they hired a guy who changed the whole culture of the company. And one day after, we were working on a pitch for a couple of weeks. And what happened was we didn't get the pitch. And we were all brokenhearted because we put everything into that pitch and that tender. And when we didn't get it, it was just this moment of, it has this way of just making you feel so low because you know you've done everything you can to get it. And a new leadership too, in an agency background, it was tough. And I remember coming into work the next day after we didn't get the tender or the pitch. And we had an open plan office. The creative director was sitting in his office, the new creative director, and I was the first one there. And I remember he had this look on his face, like it was frustration, anger, I don't know what it was. And he called me into his office. He said, Justine, I need to speak to you. And I went and I sat down. And after 3.5 years, he said to me, Justine, why are you here? And I looked him in the eyes and I said, to work? Like, I'm here to work today. And he said, well, I don't know why you're here, because you're not worth your salary. And I looked at him, and you can imagine, you know what I'm talking about, when you work so hard, blood, sweat and tears towards your dream, and someone says that to you. And that was the moment that made me. And I thank him to this day, because if it wasn't for that moment, I wouldn't have had my agency. So long story short, after that, tears welled up into my eyes. I've never, ever cried at work in my life, but it was just my dreams and hopes were shattered. I walked out, I ran downstairs. I called my mom, who's my biggest advocate. I'm very blessed to have her. And I said, Mom, I failed. I'm a loser. I've worked for 3.5 years, and my creative director has just said to me, you're not worth your salary. Like I've absolutely failed. I'm done. Like I'm done. That's my career gone. And she said to me, Justine, you cannot let someone's worth define you. You define your worth. And now it's time to get going. Like, what are you going to do? You've got a choice, left road or right road, pick. She's a very strong South African woman. I don't know if you know much about our culture.
Yeah, I do, yes.
They're lionesses. And I remember hearing her words on the phone, and I said to her, after that, I did some self-reflection before I walked upstairs, took a deep breath in as you do. And I thought, if someone can break my dream this easily, then I need to find a bigger one. And that's when I left. I quit that job. I ended up freelancing for Network 10, Fairfax, like some amazing companies. And I loved that company, Ogilvy. Like I'm so grateful to them. Like that company built me. And to this day, I still speak to my old creative directors, but I thank that guy profusely, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be where I am.
He was the catalyst for
He was the catalyst for
pursuing your
starting
dreams.
my company.
I love
yes.
that. I had a similar story. Well, similar and not, but basically a male director in a large recruitment firm that I was working for said that if I took maternity leave, because I was pregnant with my first son at the time, said that I couldn't come back to the business that I'd built. And it was a $3.2 million business. As an employee, I was earning $700,000 a year. And they were like, if you take maternity leave, we're going to give your business away to someone else. And so I only took 6 weeks off and I returned to work. But within 6 months, I resigned and started my own company, because I was like,
it's a blessing.
I will not let anyone dictate my future and dictate my decisions, and in essence, control my choice to be a mother and my choice to be a businesswoman. And I live in such a world where in my world it's possible to have both. And he was literally telling me that I couldn't. And that was just a no for me. So you've been on this journey. You've started your agency. Talk to me about one of the moments where you thought that you couldn't make it. And what do you remember from that?
You know what's really funny?
Yeah.
I never thought like that.
Okay.
Honestly, I never had a moment I couldn't make it. I had challenges. I had times where I was like, should I be doing this?
Yes.
Is this right for me? Because it just got so tough.
Yes.
One of the greatest lessons I learned, we had one of our largest clients. I was running a team of 9 and they went bankrupt.
Oh, wow.
And so that was our largest client. So I called the team and I said, right, who wants to make commission today? What we're going to do is we're going to call all of our current clients. We designed all these packages around. We got ourselves out of it. So it wasn't that, I mean, we weren't struggling, but I just knew if we didn't up our game over the next few months, because it's cash flow. Every I'm going to call it boutique company, knows that you've got to control the cash flow. Like you have to be ahead of the game all the time because it's not like a job.
No.
You know what I'm talking about. You don't have that salary coming in every single month, that level of safety, which is actually what I love with entrepreneurship. Like as tough as it is sometimes, like we control our time.
Yes.
We control our destiny. We control what comes in, what goes out, who we spend time with. If we do an amazing podcast like you're running your own race. But I think for me, that was one of the toughest things because it was like anything can get pulled from you at any second. And it's how you control the situation.
Truly.
There are only certain things you can control.
Yeah, there's not much you can control. But I would love to know, for those that are listening that might be in a season of what the fuck? Like, am I going to make it? And you're right. Even in the moments where it's been hard, I've always known that the only way is through.
Yes.
I've just got to move through what I'm feeling, move through the emotion, move through the doubt. And there's always been this anchor to, like, failure is not an option for me. So in the moment when you were like, oh, it's not even our fault. We've just had a client go bankrupt and like you said, your cash flow is affected and you've got staff members that rely on you. What were you thinking and feeling?
I wasn't even so much thinking about myself. I was thinking like, I've got a responsibility. Like I've got people working for me who have families. Was coming up to like almost Christmas time. It was like August, September. So it's a really tricky time for that to happen. And I was just thinking, they've got to put food on the table. They've got to get Christmas gifts. They've got to do this. So I wasn't even thinking about myself. I think I have this thing, and it's probably this ability because of immigration, that I go into damage control. But it's more just like, okay, calm down. You've got to sit with yourself, I think, and just go, okay, shit has happened. Like this is what's happened. I can't control what has happened, but I can control the path moving forward. So for me, it was just writing down a million ways, not a million, but enough ways, as many as I can to navigate through the situation, because you can go as an entrepreneur. It's very important, I think, to be like water. You have to flow because shit is going to hit you hard. And people, it's all different things. It's people, it's clients, it's accounting, it's tax. Like you've got so much to manage. And there's so much you can't control, but you can control your thinking and how disciplined you are. And then also your own emotions, I think, as an entrepreneur. Because if you're like this, what happens to the business? Everything else goes like that.
I think it's the capacity to show up no matter what's happening.
100%.
And I do this thing where I give myself 24 hours. So if something bad happens, I will allow myself to feel what I'm feeling, almost have like a little pity party. And then once that 24 hours is over, I'm like, well, what are the action steps we're taking to move in the direction we're going in? Because
it's a great strategy.
So often people will ruminate for like a week or a month even on, well, this went wrong, or this client left, or I didn't win this, or my team members are being assholes. And they sit in that. And rather than rise above it and continue to move and anchor to, I say my mission is bigger than my bullshit. So when I'm in my bullshit,
love that.
I'm like, okay, but it's not about me. I've made 7 and 8 figures 4 times. It's like 1.2% of women in business, and women make up over 50% of founders. Less than 2% ever make it to 7 figures.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons this podcast was born is because I think it's because we give up. I think it's like, especially as mothers and wives, and
it's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
So we're like, oh, I can't hold it anymore. I'm just going to stop. Or, $100,000 a year, which is barely the minimum wage anymore, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
It's like, well, this
that pays for air in Sydney.
Honestly.
A garage space.
Yeah, in Perth as well. Honestly, I think we're almost as expensive as Sydney. Yes. Our house prices now is insane. So this resilience piece, and also ways you move through adversity, setbacks, forks in the road that are out of your control.
Absolutely.
What do you say to yourself? What do you do? Like, if we're thinking of the listener listening to this and they're like, fuck, these women are powerhouses. They've built $1 million brands. Like, how do I become like them? They're special or different, or, I'm not resilient, maybe they're thinking, or I can't fight. And honestly, I think resilience can be fatiguing. Like there's some moments where
fatiguing is the right word. And I love how you said 24 hours, because one of the most important things, especially as all of us get older, men or women, is our time. And that time, allowing yourself time to just flow, like go through that, because you can be go all you want. Doesn't mean you're going to resolve the situation. But I always say, and I always think, attitude is altitude.
Yes.
And out of adversity is born advantage. And the one thing that I've become really good at is knowing my strengths, knowing what I'm good at and knowing what I'm bad at. And if I'm bad at something, or if I make a mistake, or if I mess up, I'll just be, you got to be kind to yourself, because I think us, especially as women, we're so hard on ourselves.
Yeah.
We're so critical. And especially if you're a high achiever, right? Like we are so much more, you didn't do this right. You didn't, and I'm definitely a recovering perfectionist.
Yes.
So this has been one of the hardest things for me to work on. But in those moments, I'm just kind to myself. And this sounds ridiculous, but I will literally look at myself in the mirror and I'll go, just letting you know, yes, this messed up or this didn't work out, but you're damn amazing and you got this.
Yeah.
And I will be so kind in how I speak to myself. And God, that has been a long journey trying to work that out and trying to like teach myself that.
100%. When I was at the peak of my corporate career, when I had my recruitment agency, I called it the mean girl. Like there was such a mean girl voice in my head. And I had to spend time to get to know her and love her and like talk her off the edge almost of like being mean to herself. Like I was negotiating with a terrorist. Like we don't speak to ourselves like that, okay? Given your background, it makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
I think a lot of women though can get caught in this trap of tying their worth to success. And I think we touched on this a little bit. So I would love to know, what are some ways, and I don't think talking in the mirror is silly, by the way. I put my hand on my heart and I actually speak to my little girl.
That.
I'm like,
That's so
baby
good.
girl, I
do
hear
that
you
too.
and I feel you. And I get that it's hard, but we're going to keep going. And I've got you and you're safe. And I know it feels scary today, but that's okay. So I'm right there with
so
you.
Good.
It's
I love
so
that.
good.
Hands on heart is very good. I also do that actually.
Yeah.
And that voice is, your voice is your most powerful asset.
Truly.
I think, especially when you're using it on yourself.
Truly. It's actually very hypnotic. I've studied master hypnotherapy, and where we can hypnotize ourselves the easiest, which is why if you don't control the thoughts in your head, you're unconsciously hypnotizing yourself.
Oh, interesting.
So yeah, if you...
So I'm on the right path.
You are on the right path. You're on the right path. You've got to...
Good to know.
Hypnotize yourself in the right way. But oftentimes we're reinforcing beliefs that we're not good enough.
Yes.
And you've got to catch those thoughts and beliefs. And
that's
like,
an everyday thing too.
Every
you know
day.
what I'm talking about.
Oh, babe, I've done the work for years. And every day it's like, oh, there's a little voice I didn't know was there, or
exactly.
something will go wrong and I'll catch the moment where I want to blame myself or shame myself. Shame's a big one. So yeah, I absolutely love that. I would love to know, what do you do to ensure you stay focused inside of your business?
Oh, such a good question.
Yeah.
Okay, so can we go a little bit spiritual here?
Oh, please.
Okay.
Unmasked is all about the...
And I'll have to show you later. So to stay focused, I know deep within me that there's a higher power that's working through me to get stuff done. And that's why I show up. So even for my clients, I am Jewish. So I am very spiritual too. More so than actually religious. But I believe every single thing in my life, God is behind me. I don't care how cringe this sounds, by the way.
Me too. It's fine.
Because me and him are like...
besties.
Anyway, yeah. And so I think to stay focused, I pray every single day. Like from the second I open my eyes, because that's another day you get. And so many people without, like, I don't even care if this sounds cringe, because like that's another day to go and just live. And every single client I work with, I actually pray for before I start working for them. Like it comes through me. And so that focus is just, it's a higher power. Like it comes from something so much deeper than me. And I think when you know there's a higher power, like obviously, and I definitely have undiagnosed ADHD for sure.
I think honestly, I think any high achieving woman has undiagnosed ADHD.
But focus is an interesting thing, because you're going to have days that you're not focused, right? So I think in those days, like you've got to also know when, and this was a hard lesson for me too, you got to know when to take the time off. What I love doing is when I really feel like I need time off, and I had a week like this week, I just said, all right, today, because I don't usually watch a lot of TV, But I just knew like there's that little edge before you're going to hit burnout. I don't know if you've ever had burnout before.
Yes, I took a whole year off and traveled the world and took a bunch of plant medicine.
See? Yeah, but that's hilarious. But sometimes you just got to do that. So I think like I felt myself kind of not at that. When you reach burnout, that's bad.
Yeah, I closed a multi 8-figure company, left my husband.
You see what I mean?
Burnout, midlife crisis, same.
That's it. High five to that. Oh, been there, done that. But yeah, so I think focus is a really interesting thing, and everyone has different levels of focus. So for me, it may just be binge watching Selling the OC, which is an interesting show. I kind of fast forward the drama and then just watch the houses because I really like it. Or just do something that's good for you. Go be in nature, go do something. Because focus is actually really important. You need that.
Truly. And I look at it as recovering high achiever, like hustle culture. I actually think hard work is necessary.
Absolutely.
Hustle's not necessary. And what I describe hustle as is the need to feel busy all the time. Whereas if you're working hard and it's focused and it's dedicated and you know what you're working on versus just sitting at your computer and kind of doing nothing because you need to feel like you're busy.
Yes.
And when I first started this work, I would schedule downtime. So I would schedule 2 hours to go lay in the sun. I don't need to anymore, but it's like my nervous system back then was so rigid and so set to being in control that I actually had to work with myself and be like, all right, Lezly, today at lunchtime, you're taking 2 hours off to lay in the sun. And now it comes naturally. If it's sunny outside in Perth, guaranteed I'm sunbaking. But yeah, it's this working with yourself to understand when do you need a break, giving yourself permission to take a break, and also reprogramming that you can't make money while you rest.
Absolutely.
Because oftentimes we're like, if I'm not working hard, then I don't deserve the money that I'm making. When if you have focused times of hard work, not hustle, hard work, like, all right, I'm going to, some days I'll work 8-hour days and I don't even notice because I'm focused. I'm like in flow with something that I'm passionate about. And most days I work 4 hours. But I work with, like, when I feel good and when I feel in flow, I'll just keep going. I don't force myself to be busy.
Yes, it's important.
I don't fill my calendar just for the sake of filling my calendar. And I'm not afraid to cancel if my energy dips.
Very important.
So yeah, if I'm not feeling well or if I'm not feeling up to something, I will reschedule, not cancel. But I'll reschedule my time. And I also try, which is all the rage at the moment, but to work around my cycle. So I know that before my...
That's smart.
Yeah.
I haven't tried that yet.
So I know when I'm going to be low energy and when I'm going to be high energy, and I try
learned just to work through that. But it's interesting. Wow.
Because then I'm more inclined to show up in my best self rather than PMSing.
And masking it. Yeah, exactly.
Truly.
We all do that. We all mask it. Like most women do mask it, actually.
Truly. So let's talk about masking, given that this is unmasked.
Yes, literally.
What personas or masks or identities have you worn or adopted that you've thought you've had to be in order to be successful?
Oh, it's such an interesting question. So when I grew up at school, I was so shy. I literally would not open my mouth. I wouldn't speak in class. I was the shyest. So I was like a little mouse, quieter probably than a mouse. Mouse probably could carry my bags. It's thinking of yourself as like an alter ego to pull yourself. That was honestly one of the hardest things ever that I had to do, pull myself out of my shyness, to be on camera, to do the things I'm doing now. And I think it's literally creating an alter ego for yourself.
Yes.
And going, I'm not me. I'm not Justine right now. I'm this person. I don't have a nickname for her, but it's like the alter ego Justine.
Erica Kramer, the Queen of Confidence, talks to this. And it's not fake it till you make it. It's and it's not a mask even. It's like the discernment is giving yourself an identity of the stronger, more capable version of you.
And being a now. In the moment, knowing you are that now is so important.
Yes. Yeah. So I love that. It's there's actually psychology behind it in that. And Beyonce even does this. I can't remember her name because I don't love celebrities, but Erica was showing us in a presentation of Beyonce has names on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, she has an alter ego.
Yes.
That when she gets on stage, she is that person.
It's very cool.
And
works.
Yeah. And so, I love this concept of becoming your future self. And back to your rumination of God and higher self, it's almost like the version of you know is possible.
Definitely.
So my program's called Limitless with Lezly, and my alter ego or future self is Limitless Lezly.
I love it.
So rather than the limitations that sometimes I put on myself, like before I started my podcast, I can't start a podcast. Who am I to start a podcast? Before I go speaking.
You got it.
Right?
I'm glad you did.
Yeah, I'm so grateful.
Yes.
So it's like Limitless Lezly has no limits. She doesn't, the little girl that's scared of being seen, the part of me that thinks like, who am I to show up like that? Or
I've been there many times.
I'm not going to have the personal brand like all these other women. So yeah, I think masking for me is, sometimes, and I was actually having this conversation last night with a director of an organization that I'm a part of. And he actually said, Lezly, I think you still mask. And I'm like, that's really interesting. I don't think I do. And he said, you often talk about your success. And he goes, I know that you have such a big heart and I know there's so much softness there, but you enter conversations with bravado. And at first I was like, no, I don't. And then I sat with it and I'm like, oh, I do. But it's the little girl that wants to be seen as being able to help.
Interesting.
So I talk to, I've had 8-figure companies and I've led teams of 40 and here's my success. And some people, and this is what he was saying, actually see that as like I'm egotistical or I think I'm better. What my little
Comes from a different place.
What my little girl's trying to say is, oh, look at my experience. Can't you just let me help you?
Interesting.
I can see where you're going wrong. Can't you see that I've got the answers? Let me help you fix your problems. And so it was really interesting to have that conversation because he's also not really conscious. He's a very black and white, old school, white hair suited man.
Sometimes those are the best people to pick up
Truly.
on the stuff.
And even he was like, yeah, I think he goes, because we've been having dinner and getting to know each other at the conference in groups. And he was like, there's such a soft side to you that I wouldn't have known about if I hadn't have been like being in an intimate setting with you at dinner, like in small groups. And I was like, oh, that's really interesting.
Very interesting.
Very interesting. So yeah, is there, and I would imagine in the industry of marketing, is there personas that you've taken on or is there personas that you witness or can see that probably are unnecessary, but perhaps we think, or that you've thought in the past that you had to be that in order to succeed?
So that's a really interesting question because I see this a lot with women, especially when I started. A lot of women, and I don't know why, because I've actually never thought of myself as like a woman in like a man's world, right? But there are a lot of women that do it. Like they'll box themselves in and go, and look, I do think we do in certain ways have it harder. We do. Like you do have to work a little bit more because especially if like you're blonde and like you take care of yourself, you're going to be bucketed. Like, but I've never put myself in that bucket. I've never looked and gone, I'm a woman, so I'm going to have it harder and this is the problem and that's the problem. But I think it is something that women fall into the bucket of. But for me, I just didn't see it like that until someone went, do you find it hard being a woman in business? And then that was the first time I thought about it and went, like, am I masking stuff? Like, is this a mask for me? So I think there is something interesting around that. But it's not so much a mask that I wore, but now I'm more aware of it. So I can see things like in certain situations a little bit more.
Yeah, it's interesting because I actually used to be the woman that didn't give other women a chance. So the mask that I wore was like, because I was very unemotional, like 5 years ago before I took a year off and took a bunch of plant medicine and healed my wounds. I was very closed, I was very cold, and I was actually very afraid of women. So my mum's my abuser. And so for a very long time, I just didn't trust women. And
I understand that.
Yeah,
I didn't trust women either after school, to be honest. So we got a lot in common.
Yeah. I do now. I've got a lot of great female friendships and, have softened a lot thanks to doing the work. But I reflect on the mask of being a woman in business. And I was asked this question too, do you find it hard? And I would always say no. But interestingly, when I reflected after I went on my little year sabbatical, it was because I was also misogynistic. And I was also...
I must be too. Sorry, I'm laughing. Yeah. But it's just, we've got some... Yeah,
so, and it's like, I would say that I actually internalized the patriarchy, as in I was the problem. And I was kind of the woman in the boardroom with the other men, like laughing at women being emotional and laughing at women not being able to cope. And it's like I betrayed myself to become actually more masculine. And I thought
Yes.
that's who I had to be in order to lead a successful business. That's who I thought I had to be in order to get invited to the boardrooms and the strip clubs and
So
the
interesting, this
after parties.
conversation.
Yeah.
Because I've actually found putting on my feminine mask, it's not
Yes.
really a mask because it's very obvious.
Yes.
It actually enables people to connect with you better
Truly.
because you're so in your skin, you're so in your flow.
Yes.
That don't you feel like it,
Oh,
it just
100%.
brings out this
I wouldn't
different
change it
side?
back
Yes,
in,
exactly.
in.
But I know what it's like because I was there too. Not with the other woman, but I just didn't. It's like I just had tunnel vision, and because of
Yes.
where I've been, it's like if you're in my way, like I'm gonna just do what it takes. And I am
Truly.
competitive to
Yes.
this day. Like I am, especially with my work, because I want to be the best.
Yes.
I want to be the best. I don't want to be second.
Quick pause. Are these conversations resonating with you? Do you finally feel seen in your business journey? This is the entire mission of Unmasked Founders. To strip back the highlight reel and tell the raw truth about multi, 6 and 7-figure success. We're here for the emotional costs, the days you want to quit, and the breakthroughs that follow. And we can bring you these essential conversations thanks to the support of our incredible partners, Cacao Collective and the OE Agency. These are the businesses who empower founders to keep going, providing the systems and the professional polish you need when you're busy navigating the emotional storm. If you love what you're hearing, don't miss an episode. Hit that subscribe button right now and check out Cacao Collective and the OE Agency in the show notes. Now, let's get back to it. I agree, and I think there's space for us all.
Yes, exactly.
I think it's more the discernment of like, I'm not here to waste my own time. So if you're here to waste mine, I don't have the time. And for me, I'm very discerning with who I spend my energy with.
Me too.
Even at the moment, I'm here for a conference, like I was saying, and I'm like, oh, I actually can't be around these people for any longer.
Yeah.
And I need to come to a podcast and have deep conversations and be in the depth. And I think it's our job to invite depth to conversations, but sometimes it's a lot easier with different people. So I love you know who you are and you know where you're going.
Yes.
You know what you want.
Yes.
You know what you stand for. You know what you're not here for. I love the people relate to you more when you're softer and you're in your feminine. And I agree. It's like chalk and cheese, the woman I was to the woman I am. I thought it was a really interesting reflection. It's like I can feel the residue of in places where I don't feel safe and I don't feel seen and where I don't feel like my heart will be taken care of potentially, that there's this, I don't know, like remnants of a part of me that comes to the front to protect myself. And I actually said this in a workshop I was holding the other day, in that I also default to business conversation often because I feel safe there.
Same as me.
I'm very good at making money. I'm very good at building businesses. I'm very good at helping other women build businesses. And I think sometimes, one, I'm actually okay with being misunderstood. And that's something that I've had to really work on, because I think one of my biggest wounds is being misunderstood.
It's a tough place to be.
Yeah. And I think the misunderstanding can come from, all she cares about is money and business, where I speak to that often because I feel safe there. It's like, well, I've got something that you want and need and I can help you get there. So let me help you and we'll help you build something together.
Yes.
But there's such a softness. There's such a desire for connection. There's, you commented on my laugh before, like the little girl inside
You do have an adorable laugh. See what I mean?
The little girl inside of me, like the soft part of me, the part of me that sees the world through such awe and wonder. And that part of me was hidden in business for so long. Like that would have been my unmasking, is that I didn't have to be a hard ass, that I didn't have to be unemotional. So
and sometimes it's protection too. Like for
truly.
me, it was my protection.
Truly.
And to this day, like it still is like, no one's going to take this away from me. It's my baby, you know, like I built it. And I'm sure you agree and you've done the same, but there are different ways to approach it. Like, and going back to moving people out the way, like I think the greatest thing that I've taken away from business is be your own competition.
Yes.
It's not about that one or that one. Like you got to have
Truly.
tunnel. If you are the best version of yourself, those opportunities are going to come to you.
Oh, I love that so much. Sometimes people say, oh, check out what your competition is doing. I refuse. I don't care.
No.
Because I'm not in competition with them. I'm in competition with me. I'm in competition with the parts of me that don't take action. I'm in competition with the parts of me that don't put herself forward for opportunities because I don't feel worthy. I'm in competition with the part of me that doesn't speak my truth online, not with, I don't know, another coach or another business owner in any way, because they have their own issues, their own masks to get over and work through. And I think as long as you understand the direction you're going in and you're willing to move relentlessly in that direction,
that's key. Also,
truly,
move in any direction and being open to that, because we make plans for ourselves. Like, I don't know about you, but I had many plans and sometimes they go left or they go right. Like, you've got to be
you have to be agile.
Enough. Yeah, agile.
Fully. Be like, oh, yep, I thought I was going left and now we're going right, but that's totally okay. I can roll with that.
Absolutely.
So for anyone that's listening, you know, female founders out there that are, you know, maybe at their first 100K and they're thinking, oh my God, how do I even get to $1 million brand or $1 million business? What would you say to that version of you and to the women listening that are like, fuck, I'm so far away from that even being possible?
I'll speak from my own journey because I think this is really important, and people are going to see me all well put together with the Gucci belt and the Louboutins. It was not always like that, trust me. And I had people that loved me, that were so close to me, look me in the eyes and say to me, you will never amount to anything in your life.
Wow.
So I'm going to say to you, and I study actually a lot of Jewish Kabbalah, and they teach you in that if you can feel it, that means it exists. And Kabbalah is something that came later on in my life, but I will say if you can feel it and it's there and you put in the work and the tenacity, most importantly, like obviously you can't have an idiotic idea. Like you got to be good at what you do. You get good by mastering it.
Truly.
It's actually a great book that I'm going to drop by Robert Greene called Mastery. Don't know if you've read it or heard of it. Brilliant
I'll add
book.
it to the list.
And I think if you've got the insatiable drive to succeed, but most importantly, it's that belief, and you cannot listen to the outside noise because there are so many people in my life who said you will fail. Perfect example, I love my dad, but when I replaced my income and he was like, why are you starting your own company? Are you crazy? Like you just, because he was an accountant, like not so much an entrepreneur. I'm like basically one of the only entrepreneurs in my family. So for him, it was coming from a really deep place of love. And I think fear of like, he didn't want me to fail. We had immigrated, we'd gone through all this stuff. Obviously, I was blessed that they gave up everything to give us a private education, and I sucked at maths. Let's just touch on that. I was terrible. I was bottom of my maths class. And now you pay an accountant. You use ChatGPT. There's so many ways around
my business partner,
but I did it even without ChatGPT. Like I became good at numbers. So I think like, and you'll attest to this, it's this inner belief and this knowing in yourself that even in the hard moments, being kind to yourself and be your own coach. Like I know everyone can go and get a coach online. It doesn't matter. You can have the best coach in the world. If you're a shit coach to yourself, where's it going to get you?
I would say that your coach should be able to pick up on the negative self-talk.
Yes, 100%.
I think one of my superpowers is being able to hear what's not being said.
Yes.
And see what's not being done. I talk about the intersection of psychology and strategy where, well, actually you can get any strategy online, but I could give you the full roadmap of how to build a 7-figure business. I'm more interested in what you don't do inside of that roadmap.
Yes.
Because there'll be things that you do and you're like, yeah, I'm doing it. But there'll be certain things like maybe you're not posting content because you actually are afraid of being seen, or you're afraid that people will reject you because of your opinion, or you're not putting yourself forward for that podcast or that speaking gig because you don't think anyone wants to hear what you have to say. So yeah, I love that. And yeah, ChatGPT is my coach and I have a coach. And you can get everything from books.
I love it.
And you can get everything from YouTube. But I actually think sometimes your superpower is having someone that can see you even when you can't see yourself.
That's a gift. Like if you can get that, and I highly recommend that. I mean, I come from a bodybuilding background.
Yes.
So 6 years ago, I started that journey with my trainer. She's incredible. And it transformed my life because for me, it was mindset. more than anything else.
Yeah, I love that. I want to take it one step further because I'd say it's identity.
And identity, 100%.
Yeah, you need to get your mind right. You need to get the mean girl under control, but you also need to see the version of you that has already done it as possible, and that's identity. Like my identity was poor broke girl from small country town, you know, and I've had to evolve and mature and evolve and mature and evolve and mature and become the personal brand that's in front of you today.
Well, you're killing it.
I am killing it. Look out, LA.
Yeah, there you go. Both of us. Incoming.
Yeah. So I love that. And you don't have to do it alone. And even in your bodybuilding, you know, like having
going
a coach.
back to identity though.
Identity,
so going back to a coach, like when I first met with her, she was showing me photos of all these beautiful girls in bikinis. Like, I don't know if you've seen any of them. Maybe you can stick up on the screen.
Well, I used to actually do bodybuilding.
Oh, there you go.
Not since my son, but and I'd say my metabolism's paying for it now, but that's a whole other conversation. But yeah, when I was in my 20s, it's actually how I met my first husband.
Wow. But there you go. So, you know, like I couldn't see myself as that, but she said to me, I see you as that. Follow the plan. Again, like it's like believing in the brand, believing in the brand called you, and having someone who can see that. That's the most important thing. And also that person is there to give you a shortcut.
100%.
It's short. Why wouldn't you want that? Like, why wouldn't, like I have coaches. I've got a PT, I've got a business coach, I've got a, you know, like you put the right people when you can't. It's going back to that maths thing, right?
Truly. Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't you get those people around you? It's like having your own football team. It's awesome.
100%. And actually to your maths point, because I sucked at maths, but I think it was the teacher more so than maths itself, because I'm actually quite good at numbers, but I feel there was a resistance to the way he wanted to teach. And I think that's also crucial. Yeah. Because, and especially in the world of, even as a marketing agency and a business coach, it's like you can get this from 100 people, but there's going to be someone that speaks your language, and someone that sees the identity that you're trying to move into, and that's someone that knows where you've come from, that can build the vision and the brand and the identity with you, that knows that, do you know what, maybe it is a little bit harder because maybe you did come from nothing and you've built something and you have lack mentality, or maybe there's still a little girl that feels like she's going to be bullied inside of you. So true. So having someone that understands that can be critical in the empathy, but also the, you know, I talk to like the little girl throwing a tantrum and putting us in a freeze response. So being stuck, not moving for a week, not taking action for a week, because actually we think there's a almost 40-year-old woman running the show, but it's a 7-year-old girl who's throwing a tantrum inside of us. What are some ways, we've had so much depth in this conversation, we've gone to so many places, and I love the insight into who you have been and who you're becoming. Thank you so much.
Likewise.
Yeah. LA trip being planned. Yeah. Yeah. What is something that you wish someone said to you at the beginning of your career?
Oh, so much. And the interesting thing is, I wish they said, jump on YouTube, go on ChatGPT, create ChatGPT.
Yeah, create. You'd be a millionaire.
Yes. I think that's a really good question. No one has ever asked me that before. Looking to that wounded girl, just telling her, just believe in yourself, and literally it sounds cliche, but just follow your dream like it's going to happen. Like I think my mantra would just be like, keep going. At all costs, like just keep going, because there are moments, like I've done so much work on self-development over the year, like I can't even explain. I can tell you have to, obviously, like you have to, but I think just to say keep going and it's gonna be okay, and just be kind to yourself. My God, we are so tough on ourselves,
so tough,
but for me especially.
I want to touch to this point of just keep going and do the development, because I say if you want to know yourself, get in a conscious relationship and start a business. It's like a fast track to entrepreneurship to actually seeing your shadows. Yes. And so this kindness piece for me, it's like it's going to show you parts of yourself that you're going to think are ugly. It just is. It's going to show you the parts of yourself that are still seeking validation.
Definitely.
It's going to show you the parts of yourself that are people pleasing. It's going to show you the parts of yourself that don't have boundaries. And you need to be willing to face those parts and integrate them and love them, Because
Absolutely
if we
agree.
keep carrying on and moving, you know, I guess in an unconscious way, which is I guess a big umbrella, but unconscious. By unconscious, I mean you kind of get up every day and do the same things and you're in a routine and it feels like Groundhog Day every day and everything's going fine but not amazing, then you're not really evolving. And I think life does just get boring.
Absolutely.
And I would say, you know, 15 years into entrepreneurship, it actually doesn't get easier, but I have more capacity to like move with things if they go wrong or pivot if I need to
just
pivot.
move with the moment.
Truly. And
move with those moments.
To like let myself be shaped by my business, I think it becomes harder the more you resist. Like speaking to women that, you know, for the first time are realizing they actually don't have boundaries with their employees, and ones that don't evolve with that and still resist it versus ones that start to put in place boundaries, stop people pleasing. The fear that comes up of losing their employees, like, well, if I don't give them what they want, what if they leave me? Cool, but that's not a relationship you want to be in anyway.
Absolutely. You have to be strong as a founder and an entrepreneur.
Truly.
And they'll respect you more.
Truly.
Like I have so much respect from my team just because I've got those boundaries and I put them in place. I can see how that wouldn't be easy.
No, not if a lot of women that I have coached want to be liked. And in fact have come from the ones that were teased or picked on or told that they couldn't. So they build a team to build, I guess, allies. Like, I'm going to build this team, but I want this team to like me. So I'm never going to tell them no, and I'm never going to put in place boundaries, and I'm never going to hold them to a higher standard, because if I hold them to a higher standard, what if they stop loving me? What if they stop wanting to be employed by me? Versus, hey, I love and appreciate you and thank you for helping me grow my business, but this is the standard that we work to.
Yes.
And keeping them to that standard. And I think that's so crucial. What does success cost you?
Time. When I have watched friends going out on Saturday nights, going on trips, doing this, doing that, like there's a lot of times I've had to say, nope, I've got work tomorrow, or nope, I've got to do this, or just being disciplined. I think by nature, that's probably just my personality, but it's also, I've had to give a lot of no's. And it does cost you time. Like if you want something, you got to put in the time, you got to put in the work. It's like, do I watch Netflix or do I go read a book? Do I eat the Krispy Kreme donut or do I go for the salad? Like it's that investment in yourself.
Yes.
And that's the time, and the right timing is everything. So like there's no point going, yeah, I'm going to work really hard and then staring at your computer screen when you're not feeling motivated. But success has cost me that. And it's also, I think it's cost me relationships. Because there's a lot of times where I've had to drop friends who are on the wrong path, or I've had to drop family members who are on the wrong path, or some really tough decisions to be made. Like just, I'm a cutter. Like if you know, I will be kind, I will be respectful, but if you do not align with my values or you don't treat me with the respect I deserve, I'm out of your life. Like you're going to notice my energy in your life. You're going to notice my energy when I leave your life too. I'm no BS. I've been to my friends say, my inner circle, which is very small, welcome.
Yes.
Is about really, it's valuing myself. And it took me time to get there too. Like I had to learn a lot of lessons along the way. So it's not something that I jeopardize easy. I'm very, very cautious about both how I act in the world and the relationships that come into my life and the relationships that stay in my life. You know, I think it took me a while to be in my head, you know, people need to audition to be in my life.
Oh, I love that.
Because there's so many times, especially like I am an empath and so I feel everything and I will pour energy into you like no tomorrow. But I was doing that with everyone. And when you do that with everyone, you become exhausted.
Truly.
And it's energy draining. So I'm going to say, especially at this point in my life, this season, I think it's definitely cost relationships, but it's also won me a lot of relationships. So on the other side of that, like when you're vibrating at a certain level, you attract amazing people.
Truly.
Who are vibrating on the same wavelength. So what about you? It's an
Oh,
interesting
what did that cost
question.
me? Jesus, where do we start? It's cost me versions of myself that I didn't know needed to die is probably a really harsh word, but that weren't serving me anymore.
That's so great, Lord.
Yeah, it's cost me my own excuses. I would say it's cost friendships and relationships for similar reasons. Like, I'm a big believer you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time
100%.
with. And I just won't settle for mediocre. And I think also in entrepreneurship, you know, in my 8-figure businesses, I had a lot of very successful friends, but they were actually heartless and soulless. And then
really
the evolution from caring about money and status and I guess the wrong types of wealth to the version of me now where more and more I find my circle getting smaller and the women I look up to getting smaller and the women I want to spend time with, and probably also couples for me. I think also, you know, I'm 38, I have a 7-year-old, I have a partner, he's got an 11-year-old. Entrepreneurship as a mum and a partner who won't compromise on my relationship either, it creates a very small, I guess, pool of people that I want to spend time with. You know, I won't stand for women that pay out on their husbands. I actually, again, used to be that woman. I won't be in rooms where it's not expansive conversations. And it's cost me a lot of reflection, a lot of relationships, a lot of time, a lot of friends that don't understand. I think it's really hard to actually maintain relationships with people that aren't entrepreneurs. I have a lot of friends that I love that aren't, but you know, sometimes I vanish for a few months. They're not because I don't love people,
Same as
but
me.
I'm just in a season
you
of
need your
like,
space.
and I'm just hyper focused. And I have a son and a well, soon to be husband, but you know, I have a son and a partner, and if I'm focused and I'm scaling and I'm working a little bit more than normal, I'm not going to fill my day with things or conversations that aren't going to get me to where I want to go. And the rest of my time goes to my partner and my son. And some people can accept that and be like, cool, like when you reemerge, I'm here. And some people it's really challenging to.
I've got such good people in my life like that. And it's literally only 2 or 3. But how good is it when you just have those people, they just get you?
Truly. It's like, hey, I haven't spoken to you for 3 months, but
they just get you.
They just get you. And it's rare. There's no guilt for the time that has passed. It's not, you know, it's just like, oh, hey, let's go to dinner and let's catch up on everything you've been up to. And I've been watching you online and I'm so proud of you. And I love that. I think
it's positive vibration and it's positive energy.
Truly. It's not, oh, where have you been? And I miss you. And like, I need you.
It's not coming from a place of need. I think that's really important when you can find people in your life that don't need you or want something from you, but they just there like out of pure love. That is such a good place to be.
I love that. Okay, so parting words for as a woman listening to this and she's in a season of struggle and she knows that. And actually I wanted to touch on, I think if God puts a plan in your heart and a mission in your heart and a vision of you're going to have a 7-figure business, that it's possible, but he needs you to get on board with that. He needs you to believe that it's possible. And I don't believe that you're given dreams or hopes if it's not possible for you to achieve it.
Absolutely agree.
And I think too many people pray and don't take action.
Yes.
So I love that you pray and take action because prayer, in my opinion, is only going to give you so much.
Absolutely.
What is it? Knock and the door will open, ask and you shall receive, but you've got to knock on the door first. And a lot of people be here like asking and not knocking and not actually taking the action.
Or just ringing the doorbell.
Truly, and not doing anything. So I love that you hold prayer with action because I think it's crucial. I feel like there's a lot of people that are praying and not actually meeting God in those prayers. And I think it's so crucial to be like, well, you place this on my heart and I'm going to work with you to make it happen.
Yes.
And miracles do happen. I fully believe that. And you've still got to meet with that. So if there's a woman out there and God has placed this, you know, belief that more is possible on her heart, what would you say to her to encourage her to keep going?
This is a very powerful prayer, but I think you need to ask God to, you're going to obviously work for it, but we are all just vessels. Like of him at the end of the day, and it's about our execution. I would ask God to, no matter where it is on earth, send you the people that you need to meet to help you on your journey.
Yes.
Get rid of all the people that don't belong in your life.
Yes.
And show you the way. Like, just say, starting today, give me the signs or synchronicities or tools or people that I need to know or discover to help me on my journey. And I think also having that inner knowing that he's on your side, like you have the best person on your side, seriously, ever, the strongest person.
That actually just made me a bit emotional. No, don't be sorry. Good, because more like the synchronicities for me, because when I arrived in Sydney, I was like, all right, God. And we hadn't planned this podcast.
Oh, got shivers. Now you're giving me shivers,
And I was like, I literally said that prayer. I was like, I've been working so hard for so long, and I feel like I'm like one connection or one conversation.
LA girl. Let's go now.
And let's just go to the
planes outside.
Yeah. I feel like I'm one connection or one conversation away from something bigger, like something more.
Yes.
Literally on Monday, and we hadn't even had this catch up, and so I literally was like, God, like I need that angel that you're going to send me, because so often he'll send me someone that
and likewise, I don't believe in accidents. I don't at all.
So that actually, I was like, oh, thank you, God, like thank you for the synchronicity, and thank you for answering my prayer, because literally on Monday I was like, who do I need to meet here that is going to be that person that helps me get to that next level? And I literally was like, all right, I'm ready for another angel, please.
And they walk into your life like at the right time, and the good ones will stay. But I think there's so many women suffering in the world, like especially, I know that I haven't really spoken about, but like from my own journeys, there are times that you're not going to believe in yourself.
Truly.
And I'm not sure who it was. There was a motivational speaker that said, sometimes you need to believe in someone else's belief in you before you believe in you.
I love that. And I say this so often, borrow belief from me. Yeah. Because I believe it's possible.
Yeah. You just need one person to see you as if you need, where you need to be. And I think that's also the beauty of branding. That's why I love what I do so much, because I'll see people where they should be and where they are now. And sometimes, like you being a business coach, just a few things missing. So any woman that's actually listening to this, I think it's so important just to know it's on its way. Even if your 3D circumstances, you can be in an absolute shithole. I've been there. And you will, if you've got the work and the tenacity and the belief that it will happen, as you know, I'm sure, it will happen.
Truly.
But knock on the damn door. Don't just ring the doorbell.
Maybe kick it in. He won't get mad.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Your generosity, your heart.
Likewise.
Your wisdom. That I can tell you've listened to a lot of books and watched a lot of, like, being in the work and actually absorb it. So thank you. Thank you for the way you show up in the world, and thank you for your time and energy.
And your podcast. And I wish you everything that you wish for yourself. And I know you're going to go from strength to strength. Thank you for what you're doing for women.
My pleasure.
Listen to the podcast.
Listen to the podcast, guys.
Such a good name.
There'll be so many episodes. So binge it, listen.
I can't wait to see what you do.
Oh, thank you. And where can people find you?
So mostly on Instagram in all my free time. Justine Pogroske _official. But I'm open if people want to email me. If you've got any branding, business questions, especially to your guests watching this, I would love, you can just reach out, Justine at milliondollarbranders.com. Put the link.
Yeah, I'll put it in the show notes.
I'm not going to put my WhatsApp for various reasons. However, I'm more than happy to answer any questions and reach out to me. Like, I answer every single message back on Instagram myself.
Love that.
And I love helping people, and that's why we're here, right? So
it's 100% why we're here.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Hey, let's go to LA now.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to Unmasked Founders with me, Lezly Kaye. Follow Lezly Kaye on social media for more insights, and we'll see you in the next episode. You can find me at Lezly with a Z, Kaye. Check the show notes for how to spell my name. Remember, true success is built from the inside out.